Hello students, welcome to Love for Reasoning. Now today we are going to discuss a high level row arrangement question. Now in this question I've got three different arrangements. Now this entire question you are supposed to solve in the examinations like your banking, SBI, IBPS, everywhere you are actually going to see these kind of questions nowadays. So they are very much popular. So I've brought up a question so that you can understand what is the way we need to approach to the question, how exactly you are supposed to solve these questions. Now let us observe them carefully over here. Now this is definitely a row arrangement. I'll come up with the more seating arrangement questions based on the circular and as well as rectangular and all other different models, but initially let us go with the row arrangement, and this is going to be very good question. Now if you observe here, it is clearly saying you the directions, 9 persons. I don't have to worry about who are those persons. I don't have to read their names in examinations. I'll just take the count. There are 9 persons in this question. We're sitting in a linear row from west to east. See, west to east is nothing but they are going to be seated in what direction we do not know. West to east is nothing but this is the way they are going to be seated. Now this can be assumed, or your left hand can be assumed as what? West direction, and your right hand is going to be assumed as what? East direction. I know there are 9 persons. I am just showing you an example how to understand the question. West direction or west end is going to be also known as what? Your left side, and east end can also be assumed as what? Your right side. Am I clear? Or right end, you can also understand it as what? Right end. Now what is it saying? Not necessarily in the same order. Yes, very good. Forming arrangement 1. They are made to shift their positions and form arrangement 2. So from the arrangement 1, they are going to shift their places and they are going to be forming what? Arrangement 2. They shift their positions again and form arrangement 3. So from 1 to 2 it is complete different arrangement. From 2 to 3 is also a complete different arrangement. In every arrangement all of them are facing north. This is one clarity we got it over here in this question. Each and every person in our question, they are facing towards what direction? North. So please, you can apply your own left side and as well as right side. There won't be any problem in this question. In case your examiner is saying they are all facing towards the south, or sometimes in the level of difficulty, in order to increase, at one particular arrangement they are going to be facing north, at the another particular arrangement maybe some examples are going to be going in south direction. Those questions are also going to be occur in your examination. But as of now, if you observe this question is clearly saying us they're all facing towards what direction? North direction, it seems. So let us observe here. So everybody is facing towards north. So we are going to deal with 3 types of or 3 layers of arrangement. So let us observe the first arrangement over here. I have placed 9 persons. They're all facing towards the north. Okay, I am not going to write the numbers, but I know there are 9 people in my arrangement. This is going to be called as my west end or my left end, and this position is going to be called as what? My right end or my east end. You need to understand. He may give you the west or he may give you the left or right, whatever it is. Now let us observe the arrangement 1. This is definitely going to be what? Arrangement 1. This is arrangement 1. Let's observe the arrangement 1. 3 persons are sitting between U and A. Now this information I am just going to write it down. 3 persons are going to be sitting in between U and A. This information is very useful for us, but it is impossible to write down this information in our arrangement because you are going to see a lot of possibilities. It's impossible to remember this information as soon as you go through the entire arrangement 1. So that is why after reading that particular information, if it is not possible for me to apply in the arrangement, I'll always write down in a short way in which I can understand. Now as soon as I see this information that I am going to understand, there are going to be three persons. 3P is nothing but what? Three persons are there in between U and A. That is the way you need to understand. Now let us move forward. W is sitting second to the left of U. Now W's left side U is going to come, or U's left side W is going to come. Always understand the information from your right side person's point of view. When it comes to English, you need to understand the information from the person who is actually seated towards your right side. So I must understand this information from the point of view, but not from the point of W. So now it is mentioning W is sitting second to the left of you. So W's left U or U's left W? It is U's left side. So please observe here, U's left side I have to bring W. Which left that you need to bring? I have to bring second left. So I'm just going to write down in this way 2L. So I'm just going to have this information as soon as I observe this information. So U's second left I have to bring whom? W. That is the way I am going to understand it properly. Next, O is sitting third to the right of T. T's right O or O's right T? It is definitely from the right side person point of view. Who is the person towards our right side? It is T. So T's right side I must bring O. Okay. Now third to the right. So let us observe T's third right. So I'm just going to write it as 3R. Okay, so this is the way I'm supposed to write in my examination. As soon as I see this information, I can recollect my sentence so that I am writing in a short way in which I am going to understand throughout my session. Now, T is an immediate neighbor of D. So T and as well as D are supposed to stay immediate. IM is nothing but what? Immediate. Now next, H is sitting second to the right of D. Now when you go through this entire information, it is not possible for us to place that information, so that only we are trying to place that information aside. Okay, H is sitting second to the right of D. So second to the right of D I have to bring whom? H. Second to the right of D I have to bring whom? H. Okay, this is the way I'm going to write it down. Next, one person is sitting in between S and O. In between S and O, how many persons are going to come? Only one person, right? Next, N is not neighbor of U. So please observe here, N and U cannot come immediate. Not neighbor is nothing but what? They cannot come immediate next to each other. So that I just wrote immediate, and above that particular keyword I am placing a cross mark so that I am going to understand my information completely. So whatever information given by our examiner in arrangement 1, I could not apply it on the arrangement, but I understood this information and I wrote in a short way, so that by using this information I'm just going to crack my arrangement. Now I don't have to worry about the question. In exam also, you don't have to look to your monitor or your question paper while practicing whatever it is. As soon as you wrote that information, you need to observe to the information what you have actually written, and by using the same information we are going to crack our question. Now I have to identify the best person in our arrangement so that I can apply those persons in the arrangement. Now if you observe here, there is a lot of information related with the T and O, T and D, and D and H. Okay, yes, you also have the relation in between U and as well as W, but if you observe one important point, what is it? T is third right, I have to bring O. Correct? And T and D are supposed to stay immediate, but it is never given whether T's left side or T's right side D should come, or D's right side or D's left side T should come. But you know that they are supposed to stay immediate or next to each other. And we do have one more very good information over here. D's second right H. D's second right H should come. Now if you combine these two information, T's third right Okay, now for an example, just an assumption, if I write T at the corner, sir, why are you choosing corner? In the row arrangement, corner positions are your best places to start your arrangement. Always pick the corners. I cannot go to my right hand corner. I'm just going to go with my left hand corner. Why? Because right hand or east hand corner does not have the right side or any other places are not left over, so that only I have picked the left side corner, correct? Now third right is nothing but here, and T and D are supposed to stay immediate to each other, and second right is also going to be here. So one thing is very clear for us, T and D are going to stay immediate next to each other, but you cannot allow D to the right side of T. Why? Because there is going to be a clash of persons. D's second right or T's third right is also going to be the same position. You cannot bring two different persons in a same position. So what does that mean? I have to reverse those people. Now if I place D at the corner and D and T are supposed to stay immediate next to each other, now this is the way, the best thing I can do. Okay, now T is third right, 1 2 3. It is not mentioning three persons are there in between, it is mentioning third to the right. It means two persons are there in between T and O. So T is third right, 1 2 3. I have to bring whom here? O. Am I clear? And in the same way, let us use this information. D is second right, I have to bring whom? H. D's second right is going to be here. Who is that person? H. Correct? Now, if you observe a small information, observe this information, there is one person in between S and O, but it is never given whether it is towards left side or whether it is towards the right side. So now one person should be there. Is it possible to bring S here? No. So I have to go towards my right side. This is where I am going to bring S. Correct? Now the leftover persons, these information I have to bring it properly. Now U and A, definitely three persons should be there, and U's left side, second left, I have to bring W. Now if I place U here, there is no left side vacant. Now if I place U here, second left is clearly vacant, but observe here, in between U and A, three persons should be staying. Now if I bring U here, 1 2 3, there is no place to write down A. 1 2 3, no place to write down A. So this position is also ruled out for U. Now if I place U here, yes, W can come. Now let's go with the corner as well, so that we can eliminate our options where I can bring U definitely. Now if I place U here to the corner, is it possible for us to bring W? No. So this is the position where I can bring U. U's second left, I can bring W. There should be three persons in between U and as well as A. 1 2 3. Can I bring A over here? Yes. And there is only one person left over, and who is that one person left over? N. But if you closely observe, N and U are not going to be the immediate neighbors. When N and U are not going to be the immediate neighbors, what is that I have to do here is very simple strategy. We have made a mistake. Correct? We have made a mistake. Let us go and complete that mistake with a small correction. Now for an example, let's see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now I'm just going to arrange those persons. I'm just asking them to move a bit. If I place D here, T is going to come. T is the third right, 1 2 3, I have to bring O. D is the second right, I have to bring H. Correct? I understood the information. In between O and S, one person should be staying, so I have to bring S over here. Next, U and A, three persons should be there. Now if I bring U here, 1 2 3, A is going to come here. U's second left, W is going to come, and the remaining person N is going to come at the corner over here. See, this is the perfect solution for us. This is the perfect solution. Earlier the solution was clearly went wrong. You know where is it went wrong? So let's observe here. N and U are actually seated next to each other. That is where we went wrong. So that I have made an adjustment and I asked each and every person to move one place towards the right. Then we got our solution perfect. So this is definitely going to be our arrangement 1. Let's observe the arrangement 2. Again, this arrangement 2 is going to have same people who are going to seated in the arrangement 1, but they are not going to be seated just like in your arrangement 1. They are going to interchange their places. By observing whatever information given by our examiner, we need to consider that information and we have to change their places according to the given conditions by our examiner. So without wasting our time, let us observe the arrangement 2. What is the procedure we need to observe? The person sitting third from the east end. East end is nothing but your right end. So this is going to be called as your east end, and this particular position is going to be called as what? Your west end. Now what is it saying? The person sitting third from the east end. Now tell me, who is the third person from the east end? It is W. Correct? Next, the name of the person, the person sitting from the eastern end in arrangement 1 sits at the west end of arrangement 2. West end of arrangement 2, I have to bring that W, but I do not know where exactly I have to place him. Let us say that, because this is all going to be your west end only, and from here it's going to be your east end only. Now the name of this person forms a meaningful word along with the name of the person sitting fourth from the west end in arrangement 1. Now we are going to form an English meaningful word by using W. Okay, and along with this W, our examiner is also asking us to consider fourth person from the western end in arrangement 1, and as well as who is sitting second to the left of S in the arrangement 1. So I am supposed to use two persons in order to form an English meaningful word. From where? West end fourth person, 1 2 3 4, and who is the west end fourth person? H. Correct? And the second person second to the left of S, and tell me who is the second to the left of S? It is O. Correct? Second to the left of S, who is that person? O. Now WHO is definitely an English meaningful word, but along with this is also an English meaningful word. How is also an English meaningful word? Correct? So two English meaningful words are forming. Let's move forward and understand the information so that you might be getting a small hint or clarity by our examiner. Now if you observe, they are made to sit consequently such that the word is formed with their name from west to east. So he is not asking us to jumble them. He is clearly saying that whatever sequence, whatever order we have got, consequently we are supposed to bring those peoples in the same order. We are not going to jumble those persons. So I am going to write down that west end as what? W, H and O. It is made very clearly, they are made to sit consequently such that the word is formed with their name from west to east, without doing any changes to the given question. Among the remaining persons, now we got 3 persons, so 6 persons are left over. Now how to bring these remaining persons? The one whose names are ovals sit alphabetically first. So I have to bring the ovals. I hope you know what are ovals. A, E, I, O, U. Correct? I have to bring them according to the alphabetical order, followed by the one whose names are consonants in the alphabetical order from west to east. So whatever leftover positions are supposed to be filled by the person, 6 other persons are going to come and fill up. In what order? First I have to bring ovals. Now A, E, I, O, U are the ovals, but O is already gone. What is the first oval you are going to see? A. E is not available in our question. I is not available. O is already occupied a position. Now the leftover position is U, because these two are going to be called as ovals. Ovals are occupying, and the rest of the remaining positions are supposed to be occupied by the consonants in the alphabetical order. According to the alphabetical order, D should be coming over here, and H is already gone over here, so I am going to bring N is the 14th letter in English alphabet, S is 19, and T is going to be 20. So that is the count I am going to bring. So I have made a particular English meaningful word, first three particular positions, and rest of them are going to be placed in the ovals according to the alphabetical order, and consonants according to their alphabetical order. Let's observe the arrangement 3. Now, whatever given condition by our examiner in the arrangement 3, let's understand the information and apply, and let us bring that arrangement. Now, the name of the person sitting second from the east end in arrangement 2 forms a meaningful word with the names of the person sitting fourth and sixth from the west end in arrangement 2. Yes, it is a bit of difficult to understand initially, but if you break the sentence and read it, and it is going to be very clear for us. So let us read it very slowly. The name of the person sitting second from the east end in arrangement 2. Now tell me, in the arrangement 2, who is the person second from the east end? It is yes, correct? So I have to write down yes. Along with yes, I have to go with the names of the person sitting fourth and sixth from the west end. Now you know it's going to be a west end, fourth and sixth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it is A. 5 and 6, it is D. So it should be a meaningful word. Of the person sitting exactly in the middle of arrangement 2 forms a meaningful word with the names of the person sitting to the immediate right of W and S in arrangement 2. Again, let us break this information. The name of the person sitting exactly in the arrangement 2. Okay, who is the person sitting exactly in the arrangement 2, exactly middle in the arrangement 2 is U. How can I decide it is exact person? Whatever number of persons sitting towards the left side, same number of persons sitting towards the right side of U. So I can clearly say U is the person, right? Now, along with U, I have to bring some other persons in order to form a English meaningful word. Okay, with the person's name of the person sitting immediate right of W and S. Who is sitting immediate right of W? H. And who is seated immediate right of S? It is T. The sentence is clearly mentioning this is a combination information given by our examiner. Person sitting to the immediate right of W and S is nothing but you need to consider immediate right of W and immediate right of S. Who is the immediate right of S? T. And who is the immediate right of W in arrangement 2? H. Now, what is a meaningful word can be formed by using these three keywords? It's definitely HUT. But it is impossible for us to write down this information over here because there is no clarity how to apply that information. Let us observe here. Another meaningful word is formed by the names of the remaining persons. Now, by using the remaining persons, who are the remaining persons? O, N, W. Correct? These are the remaining keywords. Now, he is also mentioning you another meaningful word is formed by the names of the remaining persons such that the first letter is a vowel. Yes, we got O, N, W. Own, or you can write down own, correct? You can also write down now, you can also write down one. These are the meaningful words can be formed. I actually consider O, N, W are the remaining words we have got here, but by using that particular keyword we can form three different letters, but the condition is clearly mentioning the letter, first letter of that particular given word should be a vowel. So that is why this is going to be our word. Now, these three words formed are arranged in a reverse dictionary order from west to east. So reverse dictionary order is nothing but you have to go from the reverse order. You cannot just go in the alphabetical order. What is it mentioning? We got three different words. After we received three different words, it is clearly mentioning what is the way you are supposed to place those words. According to your knowledge, you cannot just go whatever words we have got. It is clearly mentioning these three words formed or arranged in reverse dictionary order from west to east. Now these three words are supposed to be forming, okay, what are the words we have got? Sad, own and hut. That is the way I have to write. Sad, own, hut. Sir, why did you place in this manner only? Why are you not writing hut as a first word, sad as a second, own as a third one? You got this clarity that O should be the first letter of the given word, so I went with own. Why did I go with this? These three words formed are arranged in reverse dictionary order. Reverse dictionary order is nothing but you have to go with the biggest value. So 19 is the place value of yes. So that is why it became the first one, and 15 is the place value of O, so it became the second one, and 8 is the place value of H, so it became the third word. Okay, this is the way we are supposed to place those keywords. I hope you understood. Yes, let us move forward with the questions and try to solve our questions. How many persons are sitting in between A and O after the arrangement 3? After arrangement 3, how many persons are there? Only one person is sitting, so that is C is your answer. Let's see the second question. Who is sitting third to the right of N in arrangement 2? In the arrangement 2, third to the right of N. Now, do you see any third right? There is a vacant, there is a person seated, so there is no person, so answer is what? Nobody. Let's see the next one. Which of the following is a true? Both N and T have same positions in arrangement 2 and 3. Both N and T have the same positions. Do they have any same positions? No, they are not having any same positions. O is sitting exactly in the middle of arrangement 3. Now tell me, O is seated exactly in the middle? No, it is not seated. How do you decide whether it is exactly in the middle? Number of persons to the left is equal to the number of persons to the right. It is not happening. None of the given statements are true. Okay, let's move forward. No two consecutive letters of alphabets are adjacent to each other in arrangement 3. So consecutive alphabets are nothing but, what do you mean by consecutive alphabets? For an example, N and O are consecutive in English. In the same way, do you see that in over here? That is what he is asking. No two consecutive letters of the alphabets are adjacent to each other in arrangement. So T and U are consecutive alphabets in English, but they are seated over here. So this is definitely wrong one. Only T has the same position in arrangement 2 and 3. In arrangement 2 and 3, T is having the same position. Yes, this is the true. Rest of them all are going to be the wrong one. Only T has the same position. That is our answer. Correct? Yes. I hope you understood this one. I tried my best to teach you the high level of row arrangement. Thank you very much.